Yeah, yeah. There's this joke I always tell, man. There's this joke I always tell every single year. Like if on the first day of every single year, it's the only joke I came up with. I don't know if I'm the one that came up with the joke anyway, but it's the only joke that I find funny enough all all the time. Every single year this joke makes sense. So here it goes. I remember 2022 like it was yesterday. That's my best joke, man. That's my best joke, and it works all the time. It works only once a year anyway, but it works all the time. Anytime I tell it, it works. It works because, I mean, if you don't get it, then Jesus Christ, what the hell is wrong with you? Who did this to you that you cannot get this simple, intelligent, cheesy, horrible joke? Man, it's a fucking new year, man. It's an absolute fucking new year. And do you know what I find interesting about this new year that we're entering? I don't hear a lot of people saying, like, I don't think that a lot of people are entering this new year with as much enthusiasm and faith and hope and like looking forward to better things than they did when they were entering 2022 or 2021 or even 2020 for that matter. I don't think people are entering this new year with that much trust that maybe something good might happen this year. Everybody's just being skeptical because from as much people as I've seen or I've interacted with or I've talked to, nobody is claiming 2023. I mean, sure, obviously, the people in church will still do it. I mean, we're talking about the church here. The people in church will still. That's one thing I actually ironically admire about them is that they are still going to be hopeful that something good is going to happen, which for some strange reason never happens. So, not a lot of people are entering this new year with like hope or as much hope or as much trust or as much what's a synonym for hope I can like think of right now, as much hope basically that this year is going um to be a good year. Not I don't see a lot of people going like saying 2023 my year. People are just begging that this year doesn't isn't going to be as hard. I've seen memes, I've seen short videos, I've seen like write-ups of people saying people who want their names to be crossed off as the soldiers of Christ. People who want to live soft lives this year because last year was very fucking difficult, and people who just want things to be better. I've seen like many people expressing their feelings about it in many different ways. So yeah, everybody's being skeptical about this year, and we hope that maybe our skepticism would be wrong in the sense that because we are scared that this year might be as horrible as the years past, we actually get one in the hole, and this year turns out to be a very, 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 very good fucking year for us. That's what I hope. So let's drink to it, you insolent bastards. Oh shit. Hell yeah. We good. Alright. So we are finally in a fucking new year. Holy shit. I don't like I don't like. I love Christmas, right? Let me just spark one up. Hold on. Give me a minute. Yeah, we're good. Alright. So I love Christmas, right? Because of the meaning behind it, the meaning that we have given to Christmas. Like we have given it this. I have to keep this microphone as close to my mouth as possible because so that it can be able to properly pick up my voice, so that I won't have any bad audio. Like I think that was episode 3 or so, where nobody could hear anything. That was just bad. So I have to keep it so close to my mouth until I can be able to get a proper camera. Bear with me. I mean, it's in the title, right? So anyway, I love Christmas, right? I love Christmas because of the meaning that we've given to it, right? Because of how celebratory it is, because of how we can look back 12 months behind us and see how far we have come and see the progresses that we've made, the mistakes we made, the lessons we learned, the experiences we gained, stuff like that. And we can appreciate our efforts, we can appreciate ourselves, we can love ourselves more, we can be happy with ourselves, and then we can celebrate and then look forward to the future. I love the meaning. I love that meaning that we give to Christmas. But what I don't like at all is the New Year. It's like you're playing Elden Ring, right? Holy shit! Hold on. Where's my fucking lighter? So it's like you're playing Elden Ring, and then who is it? Who is that fucking guy? The guy that goes by something the elder. I forgot his name, but he was fucking like in the stage one of the game. He's absolutely difficult to beat. Like absolutely fucking difficult. In almost impossible to beat. But then that's what, let's say, 2022 represents. And then we finally beat him, and that's us in Christmas celebrating. And then all of a sudden the bigger boss comes out, and you don't have any health. You don't your sword is depleted, your shield is broken, your health is down, you don't have any magic potions, you don't have anybody to call for help. You're entering this new stage. You don't even know what you don't even know what is about to be for you. So to me, that is what the new year represents to me. I don't know what it represents for everybody else. Might represent maybe new opportunities, new adventures, everything is new, or it might represent the bleak, the unknown, like the inevitable forward movement. Oh, that might be what it would represent to you. Who knows? But to me, it just represents this new stage of now I have to keep fighting. That's what it represents for me. And it also represents, like I just said before, the inevitable forward movement of time. Bro, that's wild, man. Holy shit. I've only been talking for 8 minutes. It feels like I've been talking for an hour. Anyway, yeah, it represents the inevitable. The inevitable. Like it's like you're stuck on a moving trolley, like not like a moving rack, like the fucking in let's say escalator type of tracks that they used to move trash into, like molten magma to burn them and stuff. I don't know if you guys can picture what I'm trying to picture what I'm trying to paint here. Like just imagine like this trolley system, that's stuff is put on it and then it moves and then it falls off, like I don't know how to explain it, but just try to imagine that picture as best as you can. And then now you find yourself on this trolley, and but you cannot jump over. There's nowhere you can jump towards, and you're just inevitably moving towards the fire. That's my bad attempt at trying to explain deaths, trying to explain the end, trying to explain the future. It's like there is nothing you can do about it. There's this great poem by, what's his name, Philip Larkins, called The Obeyed. And there is one line in the poem that goes that tries to describe this inevitable forward movement of time I'm talking about. And the line went something like, um you can't stop it, yet you can't avoid it. Something like that. I don't, maybe I can like look it up and check it out. All right. He goes, okay, I let me just read the entire poem because it's one of like my favorite poems. Like it's crazy. So, obeyed by Philip Larkin. I walk all day and get half drunk at night. Waking at 4 to soundless dark, I stare. In time, the cutting edges will grow light. Till then, I see what's really always there. Unresting death. A whole day nearer now, making all thoughts impossible. But how and where and when I shall myself die. Arid interrogation, yet the dread of dying and being dead flashes afresh to hold and horrify. The mind blanks at the glare, not in remorse, the good not done, the love not given, time torn off unused, nor wretchedly because an only life can take so long to climb. Clear of its strong beginnings and may never, but at the total emptiness forever, the sure extinction that we travel to and shall be lost in always. Not to be here, not to be anywhere, bro. Waiting. And soon, nothing more terrible, nothing more true. Like, bro, are you crazy? Shit. It's like you're dead, dead. Like my friend that died last year. Right? If in January they told her that in May of in 4 months she was going to die. Like if someone had told her that like you're celebrating New Year today, but in 4 months you're inevitably going to die. Like I don't understand. Like how would she have taken it? Like how would she take it? Like how would she respond to that kind of, if you know that you're going to die, like how are you going to respond to it? So is it better not to know? Like is it better not to know when we're going to die? Because like if they just tell us that, oh, you're going to die, right? Like you're going to die. Everybody here is going to die. And nobody can ever escape it, no matter how powerful you are, no matter how rich you are, no matter how loved you are, no matter how influential you are, no matter how good you are, no matter how evil you are, no matter how disabled you are, no matter how strong you are, no matter how good or fat or superior or intelligent or artistic or creative or hated or abhorred or like dismissed, you're going to die. Nobody can escape it. And they just give us that vague as intricately as I've explained it. It's still a vague explanation. They just give it to us like that, and now we just have to. We don't know when our time is going to. We don't know when our time is coming, and then the excuse that they give is that because we don't know when our time is coming, that we are going to use that lack of information of when our time is coming to live life to its fullest. So they thought that was what they thought, that the way they did it, or the way they set it in motion, is how it was going to work out that way. That humans, they thought that they designed humans to behave that way, but they didn't know that the right answer would have been to tell everyone when they are going to die, so that they will have it at the back of their mind. Like the first thing that they see when they are born is when they are going to die, and then they'll carry that image with them for till the end, right? And even if they try to trick themselves to like take different actions that might lead to that part, so that they can change their fate because they are humans, it's their mistakes eventually become what they were rightfully supposed to make for them to get to that point eventually. Because come on, what what the fuck are you going to do? You cannot trick the sisters of fate. This is like Norse mythology, right? You cannot trick the sisters of fate. Even Odin, the All Father, Wednesday, he could not. You cannot trick the sister. You can't. You cannot change your fate. So that's just it. Do you understand? Like whatever happened to you, both mistakenly or deliberately, is like predestination. Is predeterminism, right? That this fucking lighter can cause a ripple in time that makes a lot of things that would have happened. I don't know, that causes a lot of things to happen. I don't know if you guys have seen. Fuck, I have beer. I forgot. Why am I dehydrated? So where was I? There's, there's this TV show. Um. Anyway, let's continue with the poem. Holy shit! What was I saying? I can't remember. Anyway, let's. I can remember, but let's continue with the poem. I don't want to like just carry on that tangent and just keep going. Do you understand? It's like holy shit, I'm like going way off course, bro. So let's come back and continue with the poem. So this is a special way of being afraid, bro. No tricks, this no trick dispels. Religion used to try. Oh, religion used to try. That vast moth-eating musical brocade created to pretend we never die, and special and special stuff that says no rational being can fear a thing it will not feel, not seen. This is what we fear. No sight, no sound, no touch or taste or smell, nothing to think with, nothing to love or link with. The aesthetic from which none come around. That is what we fear. Like we fear not existing. Like we want to, that's why they say energy can, though it is mathematically proven that energy can neither be destroyed, it can only transform, right? Though that has been mathematically proven. So we humans used that logic to try to say that even if we die, we still have something within us that carries on into another realm. We don't know if it's true or false. I mean, I'm smoking right now and I just feel transcended. Like I just feel that warmth, that like I don't know how I can explain this for people who don't smoke. It's like there's this meme I saw one time, right? So the meme was like people who smoke with their parents and have deep discussions. How does it feel to talk with God? It's like, bro, I wish I can explain psychedelics to people. I mean, yes, I am scientifically minded, right? But you take psychedelics and then you you find yourself in vestiges of reality that are fuck that are like more real than real. And and there's this other thing that is like, I don't know if anybody else experiences it. Like for example, I see, like, let me say the color of numbers, right? So I know that the color 20, the the number 20, the number 2 is the color dark green. That's how one is like, not, yeah, navy blue. So So I see colors, right? I see colors. And yes, though I am and then there are people who kind of like there are people who have things that they can do. They might not necessarily be superpowers, but they're just things that that are unusual or weird that they can do, like me being able to like see colors, right? So um and all of these are scientifically proven, and they are and explainable. But then, just to like keep science aside for a while, for a bit, right? How then do you explain these? Science might try to say that the experiences we get from these psychedelic trips and effects are just chemical reactions in our brains, right? Hmm. But then why are all these chemical reactions, why do they have the same effects? Like, why do we keep seeing the same entities? And why do we keep having almost the same realities or experiences, and meeting the same people, like the mechanical dwarfs, the blue woman, the giant toad, like the fucking library, the library of idea, not even library of like the library of ideas, the library of knowledge. So like, why do we keep seeing the same things? Like, why will I have one experience and somebody else has another experience, and we can like relate to it? And why do they keep telling us the same messages? So like, how can science explain it? We can say that there might be multiverses or like different realities. That might be a consoling yet vastly ignorant fucking excuse or answer. We can we can console ourselves with that, but how are we to know that? How are we sure? Like, how are we sure that our speculations are correct? For lack of a fucking better term, man. How are we sure? So we then come up with these um things like afterlife, like soul, like even heaven and hell, like reincarnation. All these things to help us, um as our heads are in the sand, to escape from the reality that, bro, at the end of it, there, this is what we fear: no sight, no sound, no touch or taste or smell, nothing to think with, nothing to love or link with, the aesthetic from which none come round, like the ability to not exist, to have that there is no record or no memory of you, and there is nobody to make a record or memory of you. Like, there is nobody to even do it, because that person self also does not exist. So we come up with these concepts, consoling concepts, to help us cope with this maddening, inevitable end. Holy shit. So anyway, let's continue. And so it stays just an edge, just on the edge of vision. Like, yes, it's true, man. It's true. It's true. Like, it's always at the back of your mind. It's always at the back of your mind. Like, it cannot be only me. I can't be the only one that constantly thinks of death. And like, it's always there. It's just that locking. It's just there. Like, it's always like by your left hand side, just there, just telling you that, bro, it can be today. It can be today. So I'm not the only one that like lives like that, right? And so it stays just on the edge of vision, a small unfocused blur, a standing chill, that slows each impulse down into indecision. Most things, yes, this is the part I love. God damn, this is the part I love. Most things may never happen. This one will. Bro, look at this line. Most things may never happen. You see this one? This one. See, most people will never know what it feels like. See, there is this stuff I wrote. I think let me look for it, because I'll be writing shite all the time. I wish I can find it. Hold on. Just give me 2 minutes. But if I cannot find it, then I'll like maybe just like shite. Can't find it. But what I want to say is that it's actually interesting that our primitive, ordinary brain can conceptualize it in an absurdly simplistic manner and then interpret it as, oh no, it's not it. Nah, it's not this one. Nah, it's not this one. Nah, it's not this one. Alright, I didn't write it. I don't think I can't find where I wrote it. But what I'm trying to say is, like, most people will never know, like the deaf will never know what it feels like to hear. The blind or the mute will never know what it feels like to talk or will never know, will never understand the color blue. It's like we'll never get it. Do you understand? There are many things that most people will never do. There are many things that, like, for example, I know 100% know that I will never, a shark will never kill me. Knock on wood. Let me knock on wood first. Alright. I know 100%, I am 100% sure that a shark will not kill me. I know that for a fact. So most things will never happen to some people. Like, I will never get mauled by a bear. You understand? I will never win like $1 billion or $1 million. That is just the fact, right? Most things will never happen to some people. But you see this one. You see this one, like this particular one. This one, we cannot skip it. It is unskippable. You know these fucking adverts. God shit. Oh fuck. You know those fucking unskippable adverts. Like, you want to watch something on YouTube, you've like clicked on the content. Oh, and in this case, because I'm in the fucking Middle East or Oceania, whichever one you want to use. And so most of their fucking adverts would be Arabic or fucking Turkish or stuff like that. And you cannot skip this stuff. It's like, why are you torturing me with this fucking ad? Why? And you just have to wait. You just have to wait for it. Imagine being controlled by this fucking AI. You just have to wait for it to just play whatever fucking shit or fucking kebab they're selling. And then when it's done, you continue with your video. That's how we cannot skip this one. Like, most things will never happen. You see this one? This one will. And realization of it rages. I don't even know what this word that I still can't. Okay. Let's just look it up. Let me spell the word. The word is OUTFGTX. What the fuck? Probably a mistake. I don't know, man. Alright. In furnace fear, when we are caught without people or drink, courage is no good. It means not scaring others, being brave, lets no one off the grave. Death is no different, whined at than withstood. Slowly, light strengthens and the room takes shape. It stands plain as a wardrobe. What we know, have always known, know that we can't escape, yet can't accept. Shit. This is the line I was talking about. One side will have to go. Meanwhile, telephones crouch, getting ready to ring. In locked up offices, and all the uncaring, intricate rented world begins to rouse. The sky is white as clay with no sun. Work has to be done. Postmen, like doctors, go from house to house. And then the poem ends. It's like, let's go back to that line. Like, he know that we can't escape, yet can't accept. It's like we're in this big giant prison and we are trying our best to escape. And we have done it. We have tried 1 million times. Literally 1 million times. We were counting. 1 million different. We have never tried one method twice. 1 million different methods to try to escape this prison. Yet we want to do it the 1,000,001 and first time. I almost made that mistake. It's like we can't escape it, yet we don't want to accept the fact that we can't escape. It's like you cannot cheat. You cannot, not even that you cannot cheat death. You cannot beat death. That is just the fact. There are these pills that they have people taking to help them age slower. These pills that they are making people to take to keep the brains more functional, and anti-aging cream and injections and operations and aesthetics and filters and like phone face apps and stuff to make and Photoshop to make you look forever young. We are trying our best, millions of ways, even creating AI, even creating that Madame Tussauds fucking weird ass dolls that look so hyper realistic, even creating sculptures and stories and art and paintings and lies to an extent, just to keep your name immortal, just to make you live forever, We try our best to try to escape death. Bro, you cannot escape it. You cannot escape it. That is just the fact. You cannot escape it. Man, there's nothing you can do. So that's that. That's that about that. I don't know how we are going to like just accept the fact that I don't know if things are going to get better. We like to believe that, like, for example, when someone says like, how are you, you just casually say I'm fine. So we just like to like just say things. We just like to say things, just brush. So we are always behind masks. Do you understand? Like we always anytime we dress up every morning to go out of the house, consciously or unconsciously, we always wear masks and then enter the streets and just keep going. If there's a technology that someone, like, let me say, some kind of cosmic being or more hyper intelligent being can use to like scan our faces and show emotional radiation. Let me say that again. Emotional radiation. If there is a kind of technology that can, just like for example, it can be night vision, it can be X-ray, it can be something that can detect other types of radiation that that isn't the normal ones that we're used to. So it's something it can detect emotional radiation. It will see that all our faces are clouded or covered in some. It might not be a literal mask in the sense that we know it, but it might just be some kind of shield that is blocking all faces and keeping everybody's face literally the same. So there is no uniqueness. Even if we try to make ourselves as unique as possible, it's just impossible. It's just impossible to be unique in this world right now. No matter how stubborn you think you are, no matter how you don't give a fuck you think you are, no matter how strong-headed, or should I say impulsive or reserved or godly or wayward or this or that you think you are not the only one. You are not the only one. There are at least 21 people in this world. We are 8 billion right now. There are at least 21 people in this world that are exactly like you. And I mean to the T, exactly like you are. So you're not that unique. And another reason why I would say we're not unique is because all the quote unquote greats, the greatest, the OGs, the goats that have done it in the past, in every field. Holy shit, I'm recording. Yeah, I'm recording. In every field that you can think of, right? All the, from Socrates to Plato to Alexander the Great to Jesus to Gandhi to Cleopatra to like even to Superman to fucking Batman, bro, to presidents to celebrities, like all the, to writers to actors, like all the greats that we can think of, to musicians to rappers, bro, like all the greats we can think of, they are not up to 1 million from all over the world combined. They are not up to 1 million, and we have 8 billion people. And there's an estimation that there have been, is it 50 billion that have ever lived, like 50 billion humans that have ever lived ever. So they are not up to one. They are not up to, or should I say, they are not more than 1 million. Yeah, they're not more than 1 billion. So that is like less than 0% of 8 billion. So that is why, okay, where I was going with this is that the reason why we are not unique is because there is a very small amount, very infinite, minuscule, infinitesimally unnecessary amount of people that embody the term uniqueness, and these are these barely 1 million people I just talked about, and they are kind of guiding lights. Like they're kind of like, for example, let's say guiding light, like in the sea where you have like what they call them, searchlights, lighthouses. Yeah, so they're kind of like lighthouses for us, like guiding lights for us that we can learn from and kind of help us to navigate, because all of us are dumb. All of us are dumb. Like 99% of us are dumb. It's just that 1%, less than 1% even, that are the guiding lights, like sheepdogs. Like the sheep are guided by the dogs, but these are good dogs, dogs that can teach and inspire and create and like build and destroy. Let's not forget that part. Holy shit. Okay, sorry about that. I'm sure most of you are disgusted. Do you know that we are closer? We are closer to um. We are closer to the time the the pyramids were built than the pyramids are closer to when Queen Cleopatra died. It's like Egypt is so fucking old. So fucking old. Holy shit, what? What the fuck did I just say? Like, Egypt is so fucking old that. Do I have it right? Sorry, I have it the other way. I think I have it the other way around. We are closer to when Cleopatra died than when the than Cleopatra is to when the pyramids were built. It's like the fucking pyramids are so fucking old and so fucking unreal and alien and interesting that it has just captivated us for thousands of years since its discovery. But don't we have the right to ask? Like, don't we have the right to ask how 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 were how were these pyramids built? Like, how were these pyramids built? I think my brain is going to explode right now because first of all, obviously, am I? Yeah, sue me. But secondly, because have you nobody people just take it casual that we have three pyramids. We have three pyramids with 2.1 million blocks stacked on top of each as in 2.1 million blocks stacked on top of each other to form a pyramid, to form three pyramids. And then the intricacy of it and how precise and how just unusual it is what has been keeping us awake for how many thousand years now since its discovery. And it seems like we have given up on that how will I put it? Well, it seems like we have given up on that is zest to get the answer, and we've just like shoved it under the table, forgetting that this is a very big issue. Like, this is a very big issue because if it was ancient Egyptians that built those pyramids, then fine. Like, fine. Thank God. It is ancient Egyptians that built the pyramids. Because if it is not ancient Egyptians, who the fuck built the fucking pyramids? Who the fuck? What the fuck? Who built the pyramids? Please. Who and why? Why? Who builds the fucking pyramids? Listen, bro. I want it to be ancient. I really want to eat chicken right now, bro. I want to eat chicken, and the same way I want to eat chicken is the same way I want, even more than want it to be ancient. Please be ancient, bro. Please go back as fuck, man. Go behind the line. Go back. Back. Ancient. Please be ancient Egyptians that were just somehow fucking weird and they thought building pyramids would be fun. Please be that ancient, right? I would rather have it be that than to actually be that these things were built by fucking aliens. Because how? It has 1,001 ramifications if the what if they come what if they maybe they lost their coordination, and then this was kind of like a, how would I put it, like a checkpoint to, like when you're moving in a dark forest, right? Without any maps, in order for you not to get lost, as you keep moving, you keep marking where you keep marking yourself, like marking where you stepped, just making marks, making lines, basically, maybe with your cutlass, or just making a line so that you can trace your steps back, right? So maybe planet Earth was one of those lines they were making, or in this case a dot. And then, because maybe back then the planet might have been filled with just maybe unintelligent life, basically there was no intelligent life, and so they just felt, okay, let's mark this place and then so that we can coordinate ourselves, and so they marked our planet. So now maybe they've gotten to a point where, okay, they are comfortable with, they can go back and then like retrace their steps and figure out stuff, right? And now they are coming back, and then they come back to our planet, and then they see that the coordinates, which are the triangles that they built, and everything is just fucked up, and the planet is just fucked up, and then there is one species that calls itself human that is fucking everything up for the planet, right? What do you like? How would they like process it? Like, what would they do? How would they solve this problem, this situation? How are they going to solve it? I think I lost my blunt. Hold on. So like did you know that the fucking pyramids had like limestone and gold, like there was gold plating on top of it, and then all those things got stolen? Like, don't you? And for example, and also gold is like very good in space, like for space stuff. Probably that's probably why they didn't put it there for decoration. They put it there because um it was meaningful, it was useful, it was practical. And then now all the gold has been stolen. Like, how do you think these people are going to? Okay, I don't know. I'm sure most people listening to me, most people, the two people that listen to me, most probably have read the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? So when the, I forgot their name, they came to invade Earth because Earth was in the way of like kind of like a space road or something, space road basically. Earth was in the way, and they didn't even like hesitate with blowing Earth off. Like when they came, they announced themselves. They announced the reason they were on Earth, and they told the Earthlings, and they were like querying the Earthlings and asking us like, why have we not like run to Andromeda? And for God's sake, it was like 4 light years away. We are so backwards and so behind in every way that we are considered an unintelligent, unnecessary planet. So that was why it needed to like be destroyed. It's like destroying an old house to like put up a park or a new building or something like that. And so they destroyed it. I don't know if anybody has read the book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's very fucking crazy. There's a robot called Marvin. What is his name? Sad Marvin. Depressed. He's a robot and he's always depressed, and his name is Marvin. Why? 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 Anyway. Yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking about fuck. I've forgotten. So because I have forgotten, so let's talk about something else. We've talked about Christmas, we've talked about the inevitability of death, which I think I might which I think I talked about well, and we've talked about um I don't know, the last thing that I cannot remember. So yeah, we're in the new year. Um, we're we are we are Now continuing our journey into the unknown, we already crossed one hurdle. It's all about, I always see it, to me, it's all about hurdles. Everything is a hurdle. Eventually, you're going to cross it. It's like you don't know the controls to a video game, but then you eventually figure it out. Eventually, figure it out. Everyone is going to, might not be everyone, but most people are going to eventually figure it out. I hope so. I hope so, because like I asked that question, like I that example I made before about my friend. It was like if she was told that she was going to die in 4 months, bro. There's this stuff that I this fucked up things, this fucked up stuff I always think about every 1st of January. There are so many things that go through my mind every 1st of January. One of them is one of them is anytime, like for example, when we used to because I and my family always spent our 31st nights and like the crossover nights, right? We always spent it in church. So when the pastor inevitably, obviously, always says, "This year is your year," and everyone shouts amen, there is this dark thoughts, this fucked up thoughts that goes through my mind. I'm like, not everybody here will make it to the end of the year. And then I do a quick prayer that I hope it's none of my family members. I don't mind it being me anyway, but I hope it's none of my family members, because I cannot imagine the pain and how it must feel to lose a family member. Like it cannot be my brother or my other brother or my junior sister or my mom or my dad or my aunts. No, it cannot be any of them. I'd rather it happen to me. And I'm sure they would rather it happen to them too, but I'd rather it happen to me because I see it like taking away, like giving them that gift of life, like giving them that anonymous second chance, right? So that's how I see it. So I might not be a psychic, I might not be a magician, I might not know how to read minds, but somehow I am always right every year. Somehow I am always right every single year. I come up with these fucked up thoughts in my head. So I always say not everyone right here will make it to the end of the year. And somehow I am always right. So that's just it. That's just how inevitable this thing is. And even though we cannot, we refuse to accept it. We refuse. There is just no way that we can like, there's just no way that we can um like escape it. So the only way that we can at least try to to pretend to keep it to like keep it off our mind for at least a minute, or should I say for, I don't know if I'm the only one um that has this experience of it being like locking at the back of your mind every obsessively every single time, or every single time, in fact. I don't know if I'm the only one that has that experience. But what I'm saying is that the only way that we can keep it off our backs for at least a minute is to distract ourselves with things like career and like glory and aspiration and praise and love and um like growth, and we just distract ourselves with these vague things that we've come up with. And it's kind of weird Because don't get me wrong, these things are good. Like they are very, very good. Like there is nothing wrong with having a career or wanting to have a family. But all these things are also, if you peel off the nice names that we give to them, if you peel them off, if you peel off the packaging, you see that these things are just us continuing the reinforcement of our beliefs that we want to be immortal. So we want to be loved so that even after we die, people will still remember us. We want to cause the most chaos so that even after we die, people will still remember us. We want to be the most influential, the richest, the wealthiest, the strongest, the best writer, the best singer, the best storyteller, the best sculptor, the best engineer, the best thinker, the best preacher, like the best inventor. We want to be the best in everything so that even after we die, the we will still be remembered. We want to um we want to like multiply, we want to keep multiplying ourselves in the form of our children, like replicating ourselves in the form of our children so that even after we die they will still remember us. But at the end of it all, that's why the whole concept of immortality in movies don't make sense to me. It's like what kind of universe are you living in that you can be immortal? It doesn't make sense in any way, because if you're going to be immortal, how long do you intend to live? It's like, how long do you intend to live? You're immortal. Guns can't kill you. Blades can't kill you. Nothing can kill you. Just like in that Sandman movie, right, where he made that guy immortal. Even Sandman himself is not immortal. He just lives longer than you. You understand? No matter how old and immortal thinks he is, he's not immortal. He just has this disability that makes him live longer and age obnoxiously slow. So we think he's immortal and he thinks he's immortal. It's just a defect. So a defect that makes you a witness to inevitable end. What I mean by that, please bear with me. Please stay with me. What I mean by the concept of immortality in movies being a biological or neurological effect or defect, sorry, that makes you the witness to inevitable end, is that most people who are immortal in movies are people who have been probably caused by some fantastical magic entity or something like that. Damn, I've run out of beer. So immortality is most people who are immortal in movies. Sorry about my blocked nose. Oh shit. Most people who are immortal in movies are people who like have some kind of relation or encounter with magic. Either maybe it's a curse or it's mostly a curse. Like immortality is mostly a curse or like a kind of joke or prank that a cosmic being is making on humans, or it must have probably been a human who complained a lot, right? So that's what immortal is. But if we are going to like drop that into this our um universe, right, that supports immortality, then what happens when the universe inevitably ends? Because, or should I say, the solar system, in fact, let's even start with the solar system. What happens when the solar system inevitably ends? Because all these elf, like Lord of the Ring type of, oh Jesus Christ, my nose is so blocked. All these I need a drink. Hold on. all these elves movies, right? Right. I'm back. All these elves movies, like Lord of the Rings and like all these fantastical movies, where they sometimes they have like two moons or two suns or something like that, which is scientifically scientifically impossible or astronomically impossible. Like you can't just have flesh-like beings that are intelligent living on that planet with slightly longer ears or blue eyes and weird costumes and architecture and language, living on a planet with two suns. It does not make it does not make any sense. Or two moons. It does not make any sense scientifically. So, what if their irregular solar system inevitably ends? Like, what will they do? Because where else? Like, even no matter how magical your realm is, no matter how elven. Like, did you see the new Witcher series, the new Witcher prequel, Blood Origin, something like that? Though it was pretty bad, but the end was kind of crazy because it kind of showed how the the entire Witcher multiverse was created. Literally, a multiverse was created where all these worlds, where there was a conjunction. Oh, bro, man, that's one of like my best series, man. The Witcher, where there's this like the conjunction where worlds meet and collide, and humans enter the elven world, and monsters and witches and mages and fucking dragons. Oh, as see, I always ask this. I always ask this question, even though I've never. I think this is my first time of asking this question. When will Nollywood get to that point? Is that we don't have good animators or good like um storytellers and screenwriters and storyboard creators or animators or CGI or VFX engineers, or like, is it that we don't have that kind of talent in Nigeria? Is okay. Here's my question. I have entered that mode. But sadly, I have run out of weed unless I wrap another one, which I can't at the moment because obviously, but I'll have a little bit. Mm, yeah. So here is my question. If I can remember the question I was just about to ask 10 seconds ago, and the more I keep ranting, the more the time keeps going, and the more it gets harder for me to remember the question. Um, and I've actually forgotten the question. Um, this is the question I want to ask. When when will Nollywood get to that point? When will Nollywood get to a point where we will have good costume designers, good practical effects people, good engineers like VFX artists and engineers, CGI artists and engineers, storytellers, editors, producers, like, then not to forget like people, executive producers who like um sponsor the movie. Like, when will Nollywood get to a point where we can tell compelling stories, like stories that make sense? I mean, I don't watch Nollywood movies, so I cannot really say what is going on in the world of Nollywood right now. But I used to watch Nollywood movies when I was a child, when I was a kid, right? When I was much younger. And the Nollywood movie teams are not more than 10. Like, they're not more than 10 teams. 10 movie teams that Nollywood has, and the 10 teams are interconnected with either comedy, horror, or thriller. Yeah, comedy, horror, or thriller. And all of them are all drama. Mm, a few are action, but we don't have any action comedy. We don't have any thriller, action thriller. We don't have any um comedy, Yeah, I said action comedy, action thriller, and action drama or war. Like if you look at Steven Spielberg's Saving Private Ryan, right? He brings the Operation D-Day to life. He brings it. He shows you what war realistically looks like, because the survivors of D-Day that saw the movie, that spoke to the press, said that it is one for one exactly what happened on D-Day. Like, people were literally picking up their arms. People were literally like folding up their own intestines and trying to put it back into their own stomachs so that they can swim away from incoming bullets. Bro, hey, Operation D-Day, one of the bloodiest wars ever. Bloodiest battles, not wars, battles ever. Bro, I'm sure if I don't know if you guys have seen Saving Private Ryan, like the opening scene. Just Google it, just check it on YouTube. What Google? Really, bro? What the fuck are you saying? Just check it on YouTube, bro. I don't even know if it's if in this our current times, if it can even be allowed on YouTube. But that's one of like the craziest opening scenes in movie history. It's like somebody made that, somebody directed that, somebody visualized that, and then did everything in his power to bring it to life. And it came to life, and people saw it and appreciated it and like applauded it and like congratulated it for telling the truth, because it's not often that we are able to tell the truth. So we might disguise it, we might sculpt it, we might shape it to make it appealing and easy to swallow, but that is not the truth. But for somebody to like get it right in telling the truth, he was like he's forever in the book of greats for that. So, but he's also somebody, right? He's also a man. So are you telling me that we don't have that kind of talent in Nigeria? I know somebody will say, "You, why don't you do it?" I would have done it if I had the talent to do it, but I don't have the talent. I don't know the first thing to do. Like, I don't have the talent. Many people might say just go with the flow, or just go with it. Like, yeah, I know if I can find the flow, I will go with the flow. If I can find where to go with it, where to start and go with, I will find it, but I cannot find it. I don't know where it is. Do you understand? That's what I'm trying to make you understand. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. So, is it that we don't have Nigerians that can be that intelligent and that creative and that pay that much attention to detail, that likes to bring particles from the past into the present so that future generations can bear witness and compare both of them? It's like, is it that we don't have people who love to tell stories that much, like who loves the idea of stories and what they mean to us, and how they, believe it or not, help us to navigate through time and reality and space? Is that we don't have Nigerians that are that creative, or that's what is it that we don't have people that are not willing to put in the work to bring that kind of thing to life? Like the fucking Buddhists, will spend hours, like hours, creating art. Just let's just call it art, because art is an encompassing word. It's like art is the subjective meaning to is everything that we perceive, that our consciousness perceives. I don't want to say that it's pleasing to our eyes, because if I say it's pleasing to our eyes, there are artworks that are appalling and disgusting and make you like grind your teeth. Do you understand? And that is the intention of the artwork. So the next best thing I can say is that whatever it is I said 10 seconds ago. So um the fucking Buddhists will like spend hours creating art being this generalized term that brings some kind of emotion out of us, right? The fucking Buddhists will spend hours creating art, beautiful artwork, and then when they are done with sand, with colorful sands of like different colors, and then when they are done, they will like destroy the whole thing because they want to like build this character of not of basically stoicism, right? They don't want to care about, they don't want to put emotion, or they don't want to um make they don't want to have any personal relationship with anything, no matter how beautiful it is, right? So that's the whole theatrics that the whole theatrics that they're trying to perform. So if they can do that kind of thing, then is it that there is no there are no Nigerians that are willing to put in as much time as they put in to create something beautiful that will even last in this case, and people will appreciate. Like, see that we don't have that. Even okay, for example, now we know how much money Nollywood racks in every single fucking year. It is undisputed. No country has beat Nollywood. No country, except probably China, because now they're now bowing to China, and so there are some movies that they release here that are entirely different from how it is released in China. But let's not talk about China. China don't have any. What I mean by nobody has beaten Nollywood is that China doesn't have any like movie. I don't know if they do. But it's not as big as Nollywood. It might be big in China, but China doesn't have Hollywood. Nigeria has Nollywood, which is like a counterfeit to Nollywood, and India has Bollywood, which is also like a better counterfeit to Hollywood. But none of them have reached or have surpassed Nollywood in any way, in terms of production, in terms of um, value, in terms of the amount of money it makes, in terms of quality, everything. Nobody has reached Hollywood, and that's a fact. So is it that there is no, and that is a fact because there are people willing to spend on it and invest in it, and like um put money, basically pump money into it to ensure that it works, right? They have those people from all over the world, not only in America. People all over the world that pump money into Hollywood to see that every movie, like for example, when you hear that there's a movie that they use 200 million to make, for example, now one of these Avengers movies now, that they will use 200 million dollars to make the movie, so that then when the movie now comes out, it's now make like $1 billion. So where do you think they brought that 200 million? Like, who do you think it is? One individual person that is willing to shell out $200 million, or you might think maybe because the company is Disney, is the Disney that is bringing 200. Disney will bring his own $200 million to pay for movie. No, it will Disney would like get it from some people who are willing to make that investment, because ultimately the reason why we have cheap stories right now of people in costumes and leather jackets and leather trousers and makeup and CGI background and stale and insipid stories that are not compelling, that are not like really uh, compelling, for lack of a better term. The reason why we have that now is that investors want a return on investment. That is just the fact. People want a profit for the money that they invest. So a lot of people invest in these Disney movies, these Marvel movies that people are enjoying like this. And so it's just like fast food, right? It's just like fast food. The more money, the more customers that you have, right? The faster you do the faster you prepare the meal so that you can reach those customers as quickly as possible. And so the faster you do something, the less careful you'll be or intricate you'll be at doing it. So I don't know if you can remember that episode in SpongeBob where Mr. Where Squidward Squid. I don't even. Do you know? I've never known how to pronounce that guy's name. Squidward, whatever. The depressed squid and SpongeBob were doing a race to see how many burgers that they can make, and so Squidward was like making hundreds and hundreds. Wait, it was not Squidward. It was somebody else. I forgot. Maybe it was one of those captain on I've forgotten his name, but I've forgotten. It was SpongeBob was doing a competition with somebody to make like the sweetest hamburger something Krabby Patty. Jesus Christ, I almost fucked that one up. Krabby Patty, to make the sweetest Krabby Patty. So the person was not like making hundreds of. Meanwhile, SpongeBob was taking his time. He would like turn the beef, he put the cheese, he put the lettuce, he toast the bread. He was just doing. He even put blankets all over it to like make it warm. So he was doing his own carefully. But at the end of the day, um, they tasted it. Mr. Krabs tasted it, and SpongeBob ended up winning. So what I'm trying to say is that no matter how, if you're fast, like if you're mass producing, you will not have as much quality as somebody who takes his time to do it. Like you can go to Amazon now to buy like $20 wooden chair, right? But you cannot compare like a $7,000 wooden chair to a $20 because it's time, because it takes time. So these are just fast food movies with like very cheap story and the least effort, other than the incredible CGI, of course, the least efforts possible that you can put in the movie, and to just give us those cheap thrills for the limited amount of time that we suspend our disbelief. So these movies are just cheap movies, and cheap movies are not healthy. Like cheap movies are it's basically like fast food, as I would say. Like you can have like a big giant burger, you understand, like let me say once, let me say a month or so. But to eat burgers and fries and deep fried chicken every day is is unhealthy. So it's just like consuming these cheap. Do you know how many shows there are? Like, do you know how many fucking streaming platforms there are now? There's Netflix, there's Amazon, there's HBO, there is YouTube, there is like Curiosity, there's like fucking bro, there's so many streams, there's so many streams there's so many streaming services online right now, and each with their own. There are thousands of movies, and most of them are garbage. Most of them, like 99% of them are garbage, and the 1% are just the ones that people care about. Like people take time and intricacy and care to make. Like I was saying before about how most of us are stirred by 1 million truly gifted people, and these gifted people are the ones that actually steer us towards wherever it is that we're going, towards the right direction. As misguided as we are, these not more than 1 million people of pure geniuses in every field imaginable are the ones that actually steer us into the right path. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we are we are not unique in the sense that we there is not a lot for us to do. Do you understand? And so that is how we are held by numbers. Like there is not a lot for us to do. Like there are only so many jobs that people there like there are not enough things for 8 billion people to do to make the world productive. Like 8 billion people cannot be, for example, now when people say you were born with a gift, like you are meaningful to this world, it is utterly impossible for 8 billion people to be meaningful. Even even plants and insects and ants and other animals and fungi and bacteria and microbes and muck and like amoebas, like most of them are most of them are just NPCs. Do you understand? So 8 billion humans cannot be, because when everybody is born, I like to believe that I know that there are horrible things that happen in this world, and people come into this world. Many people come into this world through horrible circumstances. But generally speaking, I like to believe that most people that come into this world, right, are uh, there is happiness. Do you understand? There is happiness because of that. So most people that come into this world, there is celebration when they come into the world. So I like to believe that. So yet, no matter how much you love this person that you're celebrating, and you think he's special and you think he's unique, like you know how parents like to say, "Oh, my baby is very intelligent," and this and that, right? No matter how special you find this person, it is just not logical for there to be 8 billion people with the same level of importance. It's just not true. I mean, if you've read Plato's The Republic and how they categorize the classes of humans, the classes of humans in that proverbial city that they were talking about, that they were trying to create, right? The perfect city. So there was this classification of people, and so and also we know that all fingers are not equal. So it's just not possible for there to be 8 billion people that are unique. If everybody is unique, then nobody is unique. So wouldn't it be logical to have just about less than 1% of people who are actually truly unique, that the rest of the population can learn from and build upon? Like, wouldn't that be the logical thing to do? So the reason why we have a lot of poor people and people who don't know what to do with their lives, and people who have no prospects or who have no aspirations or dreams, or people who are not willing to go the extra mile, or like for example, you see somebody who is exemplarily perfect in his crafts. Like for example, when you listen to somebody like what is his name, Jimi Hendrix. Like when you listen to Jimi Hendrix movies, especially when you're high, and you just listen to how this guy plays, bro, and then you now start asking yourself, like, why can't I be as good as this person? Like, why can't how is he this good? Like, how is he this perfect? Like, how is he this intelligent holding a guitar? Like, do you understand? So when you listen to that kind of thing, and you ask yourself, like, why it is impossible for you to achieve that, to attain that level of perfection, musical perfection, and you find out that it's impossible, then that's what I mean by there are people that we can just not reach. Like, there are people that we can never be. And the people that we can never be, like I just said before, there are very few of them. And we can never be them because the reason why they exist is for us to try. Like, we're not going to get there, but it is the effort that counts. It is the effort that counts. Like, most of us will forever be in this rat race. like this waking up in the morning 9 to 5, you come back, you barely have enough to pay your bills, you barely have enough to feed yourself, and if you decide to like start a family, you barely have enough to like keep the family going. Most of us, I'm talking about most of us, so, and like you like to tell yourself, you like to console yourself with the false belief that having a family is the best thing that you could have done, and you rather have this than chase that career. And also there are also some of us also that chase careers to the end, and then they wish that they had a family and stuff like that. So like all these indifferences and all these complexities that we have amongst ourselves, most of it is just most of it is how most of us are going to live. Like we are most of us are not going to escape this rat race, and that's okay, because it is the effort that counts. As funny as that sounds, it's just the truth. It is actually the effort that counts. Like our collective effort is like life. Let me say life is like a pyramid scale. Like we have the food pyramid, we have the body in mass index pyramid, we have pyramids. Their pyramids represent a lot to us. So life itself is a pyramid where most of the work is done by the bottom, and very few people enjoy the benefits. So like there is this trickling down compounding effect that is actually not coming down, it's actually going up to one person. Like like for example, when you're playing like when you're watching one of these like hell themed movies where souls have to like leave bodies and then enter some kind of like magic ring or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, that's what most of us are. We are just fuel feeding a tiny fire. We're just a mass collection of fuel. So when you're doing your 9 to 5 job, when you're doing your construction job, when you're doing your office job, when you're doing your nursing job or your engineering job or your supervising job, just know that you're just one part of the cog in the machine that is that is powering this giant entity. Do you understand? So I don't know whether I don't know, because is it possible to break out of the matrix? I don't know. Like, is it possible to escape um this rat race? It's very possible to escape the rat race, but it is illegal to escape the rat race. It is illegal in the sense that escaping the rat race means going your own way, and going your own way oftentimes requires you to be truly independent and truly free. And freedom is not um limited by what we understand to be good or bad. Like, to be truly free is to be truly able to do anything you want to do, and that includes what we perceive as evil or bad being done to us. So when somebody decides to rob a bank, that's him being truly free. And so the system that governs the rat race sees robbing a bank, which is a faster way of giving yourself influence and power than what most people are willing to do, as a threat. And so it sets up laws like police and governments that will stop you from getting to the top quick. So what so yes, it is possible to escape the rat race, but if you can successfully rob a bank like DB Cooper, like nobody knows where DB Cooper is still today, or if you can successfully run a drug empire or a cocaine empire, money laundering empire, or a gambling empire, or a food chain empire, or a pharmaceutical empire, or a military industrial complex empire, like if you can successfully run that, then you have successfully but illegally escaped the rat race. And so now you now be among one of the people that all of these efforts are being put pushed towards. So yeah, I would like to continue this my interesting rant, but there is no I've been talking for about an hour and 30 minutes now, and I think I've run out of the time that I am allowed, the time that I have allowed myself to go. So I would have loved to continue this ranting, but I just have to end here today. I would have loved to talk about um I would have loved to have a recap of my 2022 of everything that happened, but I think maybe I'll leave it for another. But I don't know if it's too if it would be too old for me to do in 1 week. Like if time would have gone too far. But anyway, I would have loved to talk about that. But yeah, I would have loved to talk about that. But I'm sure most content creators have already done some form of um recap of 2022, and I'm sure most of them are really entertaining. So I'm not going to like add to it because many people have done it absolutely better than I could have ever done it, even though it would be my own experiences that I'm talking about. But i- to look at the big picture, most of our experiences, even though we think they are different, are actually the same. So there's no need for that. So I'd have done that, but there's no need for that. So, and I would have loved to continue with my rants because I feel like there's still so much that I can say, but I think I have to stop here right now. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for giving me your listening ears. Don't forget to share, to listen to the end, and then share the links with your friends and people who you can share them with so that we can gain more audience and gain more listeners and gain more fans. And also engage with me on Twitter at General Prime One so that and tell me what you think about the podcast and tell me what you think about the episodes and the topics you heard me talk about and stuff like that. And yeah, so happy new year guys. Thank you for and I hope this new year is um what is kind to us basically. I hope this new year is kind to us. So yeah, happy new year everybody. I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye everybody.